I am in the middle of the 75 hard style challenge when I'm filming this, and as part of the challenge you are supposed to clear out and organize your closets. Now I am pretty happy with my organization, most of which you can see on the screen right now. Behind me I have my hanging clothes, which is shirts and skirts and dresses and blazers and vests and those kinds of things. And then over there in those little cubbies I have trousers and knitwear and t-shirts and tank tops. Now I have said multiple times that I don't want to do a massive overhaul of my wardrobe, but I do have some pieces that I know don't fit me or that I suspect don't fit me, and those I will be trying on, and some things that just don't serve me anymore, and so I'm going to move those things aside. I have a little clothing rack right here that I hope is somewhat in frame for you. You can also see my microphone right here, so I hope the sound is decent. It's very weird to be standing and filming and not holding my phone as a microphone, so hopefully this works out fine. But like I said, I will be moving things to this rack, and hopefully it won't be too many things, but let's start with the pieces that I know don't work anymore. And we are starting off with this, which is a white button down, and if you've been here before you know that I love my white button downs. However, I recently tried this on in this video when I was putting together outfits for a work dinner, and this just does not fit me anymore. It is a gorgeous shirt. It has these like princess seams on the front, so it has a very nice fit to it, and then it has embroidery down the front, like covering the buttons. It is gorgeous, but it doesn't fit me, and hopefully it will fit someone else. This I will be selling or trying to sell, and if it doesn't sell, then it will be going to a clothing swap with me probably in October. The next item is this dress, which is from a brand that I really like, that I have found a copies of secondhand. It's called Together. I don't know much or anything really about this brand, but when I find it in secondhand pieces, I tend to like a lot of those pieces. And I've had this for a few years. Last time I wore it, which was September maybe, it was very snug. It was very snug, and I don't think that it is going to be less snug, but I'm going to try it on and see how I feel about it, but I don't think, sadly, I don't think this will be staying in my wardrobe. Next up we have this beige linen button down that I thrifted last summer. There was an event going on, sort of locally to me, not quite, but decently close to me, where a lot of different secondhand stores and just like yard sales and stuff was going on during one weekend, and we went and we had a good time. And I found this, and I think I was in one of those moods of like, I wanted to find something and I hadn't found anything. And I tried this on. It was in an outside stall and it had been raining, so one of the sleeves was just drenched, so it was very uncomfortable to even try on. But I was like, yeah, I have no mirror, but like, yeah, sort of, that looks fine, I guess. And so I got it, but I do not vibe with this shirt. However, this still fits me, as far as I'm aware, and I'm going to set this also on the railing for now, but in a separate category, because I have been very inspired by Lauren from How She Styles with her Style It or Say Goodbye series. And I have a couple more pieces I can think of that I don't know how to make them work, or if I feel like I can make them work. So I want to try my hand at that challenge or a similar challenge. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but credit where it's due, which is to Lauren, and I'm going to set this aside for that type of video. And the same situation as with the shirt I just mentioned is this vest. This is a white denim vest that I got last summer, and I really do like white pieces. White button downs, for example, are a really big part of my style, or at least I think they are a really big part of my style. I have only worn this once, and that was for a costume party. I dressed up as Optimus Prime, don't question it, it was fun, okay? But I haven't styled it for real, and when I try it on, which I did recently, I don't really know how to style this. So I'm gonna set this aside as well into that Style It or Say Goodbye type series, and we'll see what I can come up with and if I'm happy with those outfits. In the video of the halfway check-in for the 75 Hard Style Challenge, I mentioned that there was a piece, there was a dress that didn't fit me anymore and that was really special to me and that I didn't want to part with. This is that dress. So I thrifted this last spring, I think February or early March. It was part of my Japan capsule and I was very, very happy with this dress. It is very princessy, it's very flowy in the skirt. It is something that is a little bit outside my comfort zone in that I felt very comfortable in it in Japan where no one knew me, but I feel like I might feel a little bit costumey wearing this to work here. However, this dress doesn't fit me anymore. I tried to wear it in July when my husband and I had our 10-year anniversary. We've been together for 10 years and it was too snug. It was not comfortable, and I tried it on recently as well and it's even smaller now. So this is a piece that is really special to me, but it doesn't fit me. I don't want to part with this, but I'm not going to make myself fit the dress. But what I think is doable is letting it out. I think that some fabric could be added to the side seams of the torso. One side of the torso has a zipper though, so that might be a bit of a problem. But I think that's doable, and I want to try to do that. I am not going to be the one doing that, however. I do not have the patience, nor do I trust my own abilities in mending this and making it fit me. But I'm going to ask my lovely husband to see if he can do it, and if not, maybe ask a tailor to do it. But yeah, I don't want to part with this, so it's also going to go on the railing, but in a third category, because I'm not going to try to sell it and I don't not know how to style it. I just simply don't fit into it. I will also be adding these 2 button downs to the Style It or Say Goodbye series category of this railing. These are pretty much the same exact shirt, aren't they? One doesn't have a collar on it, but they are both pink shirts. They have a checked pattern on them, and this one has purple, white and grey. This one has white and beige and some other beige. But they're pretty much the same shirt, aren't they? And there's nothing wrong with them, but I also don't feel like they're very me, or I just don't gravitate towards them because I have other things that I'd rather go for. So I'm going to add these for now into the Style It or Say Goodbye portion. I don't know if I need to style both of these because they are almost the same shirt, but they'll go there for now. Now, next up we have a dress. This is a dress that I'm going to put into the selling or donating or clothing swapping category. This is a really pretty dress. It's a halter neck. Let's see if I can show this. It's a halter neck dress with like crochet at the top, and then it cinches under the waist, and then it's a midi length. It's quite long. And it's nice. It's pink and it's quite bright and I like the colors of it. But this is very much not me. It doesn't really fit properly, first of all, but I also feel very exposed in this dress, and I've tried layering with it. I have layered my favorite orange button down on top of it to cover it up a bit, but I still feel too exposed and I don't like how this fits, so it will make someone else very happy, I sure hope. Next we have this, which I regret buying. This was a regret in my tier ranking, my 2025 thrift finds. I named this as a regret and I haven't worn it since. I believe I've only worn this once, which was last year when I got it, and I cannot wrap my mind around this piece. So it's a thin material. It's like a button down, a cotton button down. It's very soft and nice. It's kind of flowy. It's a little bit longer, like this goes past my hips, I want to say, or at least to my hips. It has a really interesting closure with these sort of hooks, almost like fabric hooks, and it has pockets, and it's short sleeved, and it feels like it should be an overshirt, but it doesn't really feel like it's an overshirt. And I think my biggest issue with this, because I do like the pattern, I do like the feel of it, but I think my biggest issue with this is the colors, because I do not feel like the colors in this item go with the colors in this item, which makes it very difficult to style, because if I feel like it doesn't match itself, how will I match it with something else? So this for now is going to go into that Style It or Say Goodbye section, and we will see if this stays. I very highly doubt that this will be staying. Comparing this to the other 4 items I've put there so far, this is the one that I believe the least in, if we put it like that. If you have any styling ideas for it, let me know. My thought is like white pants. Not very exciting, but that's for a different video. Next is a dress that's going to be difficult to show you because of the intricacies of the straps on it. But this is a fit and flare dress that's like tight over the bust, and then it flares out into a massive big skirt, which we know I love my massive big skirts. And you're not going to be able to see this very well, but the straps sort of crisscross in the back, and I have to very acrobatically wriggle my way into this dress, which is fine, but I also need help buttoning the top buttons of it. And I think that this is so gorgeous. I know when I brought this home, which was I think 2 summers ago now, my husband said that that is such a you dress, that is you in a dress. And I agree with him, but I'm not sure it fits anymore. So this will be tried on. I'm realizing now my categories are a bit wrong. I'm gonna shuffle things, but I'm gonna try this on and see if it still fits. If this doesn't fit me, I don't know if it can be let out or have fabric added to it. I'm thinking of the other dress, my dream dress, that doesn't fit me. I think adding fabric to it could look good. I'm not sure it will look good on this one, but I also know what fabric to add to that one, and I don't know for this one. So I'm gonna try this on. If it doesn't work, I'll make a decision on it then. The next item on the chopping block is this skirt. I thrifted this in Japan last spring. I paid a fair bit of money for it, and I don't think it still fits me. I tried it on recently and it was very snug, and I don't think that is going to fit me better now. And I also had an issue when I wore this skirt, which I think was with the bottommost button, that it looked like the fabric was like hiked up, but it wasn't, and the buttons are fake, so there's nothing wrong with the buttonhole. These are not how you close the skirt, there's a zipper in the back. But yeah, it just didn't really fit right, and like I said, now I think it's going to be too small as well, but I will try it on, and if it doesn't fit, passing it on, selling it on is the plan. This dress I'm going to put in the style it or say goodbye category. I think this still fits me. I got it last summer, but I don't feel super at home in this dress. There's something about the fit of it. I think it might be the elastication at the waist and the shape of the skirt. It's not elasticated and then flared out. It's pretty A-line. And I like my big skirts. I don't know if that's the only reason, but I'll see if I can style this in a way that I like, otherwise I will be passing it on. Next up we have another piece from Japan last spring, which is this gorgeous vintage dress. Gorgeous vintage dress. That was for some reason hard to say. And this was tight when I got it. I will be trying this on. If it doesn't fit, I'll be passing it on. I have now gone through all of the hanging clothes with keeping fit in mind, like if I think the clothes fit me or if I know that they don't fit me. But I've also, like I said, removed some pieces that I'm unsure about for styling reasons. And I'm gonna do a second go through and think of the styling aspect and see if I want to add anything more to that part of this rack. But I wanted to go through the cubbies, which you can no longer see because I've hung shirts in the way, but the cubbies over there. And I have worn the vast majority of everything in them already this year. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces in there that are unworn so far. 2 of them are turtlenecks that I got in the clothing swap, so I know they fit me, and the other things should also be fitting me, but I'm on the fence about these. These are a pair of culottes that I wore a lot in my 2022 capsules, if you've seen those, and I was already on the fence about these in the closet clear out I did early 2025. I wasn't sure, like they were a bit snug, and I was like, oh, I'll hang on to them, see if I wear them. And I wore them once last year because I wore everything in my wardrobe at least one time. But looking at these now, I think I can say no without trying these on. These will need to, I mean, they have elastication in them, but I don't think that's gonna be comfortable. I don't think that's gonna be a good move. So these, I really loved. They were great for my capsules in 2022, but I will be passing these on without even trying them on. Now let's go through this and see if there are more pieces I want to set aside for trying on in outfits for a different video. There very well might be such pieces. I did pass a few over when I had like specific pieces in mind. I sort of just skimmed past those. So I'm gonna go through this again. And the pieces I'm setting aside now, the pieces I'm gonna part with, like the shirt and the culottes and this dress that I talked about, those I will be removing from my tracking and from my wearing because they are leaving my wardrobe. The things I'm gonna try to style or say goodbye to, I will hold off on removing from either of those places because they're still staying in my wardrobe. And the pieces that I'm trying on, if they don't fit and I part with them, they will be leaving my wearing and my tracking. And this dress, which I really want to make work, I will be archiving and removing from my tracking and then hopefully putting back in once it's mended and it fits me. Fingers crossed. Please keep your fingers crossed. I love this dress. I want to wear it so many more times and I really want it to work for me. And any and all pieces that I part with, either temporarily, like this one, or permanently, that will be affecting my cost per wear, and that is something I'm going to be touching on later in this video or in a different video depending on how long this gets and when I finish up trying things on and making decisions. But yes, it will be affecting my cost per wear, either positively or negatively depending on how high or low a cost per wear an item already has. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm just spewing words. Let's get back to looking through these pieces. It's really fun to be going through my pieces and going, oh, I really like you. Oh, I really like you. Oh, I really like you. That is how I want to feel about my entire wardrobe. So I feel like I'm on the right path when that keeps happening as I'm like skimming through these clothes. However, this vest I'm going to add to the Style It or Say Goodbye series. And I don't want to part with this vest. I mean, are we seeing this? It is gorgeous. but I don't wear it. I've worn it once or twice. I've only worn it one way around, which to me is fine. It is reversible, but this is really the fun side and the one that I was excited about when I saw this vest. But I want to figure out how to wear it, and I think the problem is that it's very dull and dark, and I don't know how to make that work. So I'm gonna add that to the style it or say goodbye portion of the rack. I am a little bit on the fence about both of these pieces, so I am going to add them to that section of this rack. Here we have an embroidered vest that I got in Japan last year, and I feel now that I'm saying in Japan last year a lot of times. That is true for this one too, but let me talk you through it. This is a denim vest with embroidery on the front and a tie in the back, and it's very 90s. It's very stereotypical, like 90s school teacher kind of vest. Kindergarten teacher, I guess. And it's really lovely, but I struggle to style it. It is a little bit snug in the way where the buttons pop open, but it does fit. It's not restrictive, but it's a bit tight. And I wore it yesterday and I felt really nice in it, but I wore it on its own, which I don't know if I can layer with it because it is quite snug. And B, I don't know if I will be comfortable not layering with it out and about. I just wore this at home because if the buttons pop open, there's me, and I'm not sure that I want that. So I'm gonna add that to here and see what and how I can style it. I mean, a white button down is the given way for me to style this, and we will see if that works. I have also styled it with this dress, which is one of my favorite pieces. It was one of my hero pieces of last year, and I really, really like it. And I wore this on top of the dress open, and that looked fine. But again, I want more ways to try to style this vest. And then the second piece that I just pulled from here, also from Japan, is this button down. Now, I have a few issues with this button down. Many of them are to do with me. It is a little bit tighter than I like my overshirts to be, and it's a little bit too tight, especially in the hip department, for me to be able to close it the entire way. I have worn this open on top of something else, and a lot of my base layers, if we're talking t-shirts and tank tops, are bright colors, and none of them that really go with this. So I don't know what to do about that. And I'm gonna try to style it in a few different ways. I mean, it is a lovely button down. I like the buttons of it. I like the stripes. I feel like it looks a lot brighter on camera than I feel like it does in real life. Or it is brighter than I think it is. And since I have it in my sort of dark blue section, I just think of it as being quite dull. It might be a me thing. I have two more pieces that I'm pulling, and then I believe I am done. The first of those two items is this blazer. I have mentioned a lot that I'm not sure that I'm a blazer person. I don't feel very at home in them. I feel like they are a little bit too something. I don't think they're too formal for me, but I also never really feel at home in them. I don't really know what it is. This one I wore the other day, and it has so many things that I like. For example, the fit, like the shape of it. It cinches a bit at the waist. It's a little bit cropped, which I do enjoy. It has this pattern, which, come on, how could I not like this pattern? But it doesn't fit me right. The shoulder pads feel way too wide. I feel clownish or costumey in them, and I think that my shoulders are wider than they are. I think that I have pretty wide shoulders, and that's not something that I want to exaggerate. But I don't really think that my shoulders are all that wide. I think it's just a thought I got into my head when I was younger and more impressionable, and now it's sort of stuck there. But I wore it the other day and I just didn't feel comfortable with how wide this was in the shoulders, and like how obviously shoulder padded it is. It's not really a silhouette I go for a lot. I do have my tailcoats that don't get a lot of wear but also have shoulder pads, but I feel like it works better with this piece because the whole tailcoat is sort of exaggerated and out there, which obviously a cropped, short-sleeved, shoulder-padded floral blazer isn't, right? Right. But yeah, I just don't think this should be staying in my wardrobe. It doesn't serve me. I don't feel good in it. I don't reach for it. But it will, hopefully, make someone else extremely happy because it is a gorgeous vintage piece. And the final piece that I am pulling is this dress. This dress I got at the same time as I got this dress, the like second or third piece I showed you in this video. And the same thing is true with this one in that I don't think it fits me anymore. I'm gonna try it on, but if it doesn't fit me, it will go to a new home. But there we have it for this video. I have pulled 4 pieces that are definitely leaving my wardrobe. I have pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces for some sort of style or say goodbye series. It's probably going to be more than just one video. And then I have pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces to try on, although technically 5 pieces because I already know that this doesn't fit me. So the other 5 might also be leaving me. This is staying. I am not parting with this. You can pry this from my cold dead hands. But there is a risk that 4 plus 9 plus 5, which is 18 pieces, will be leaving my wardrobe over the course of the next little while when I have tried some of them on and see if they still fit me, but have also tried to style the other ones. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to hear in the comments down below if you have any reflections or thoughts on these pieces, and especially the pieces I set aside to be the style it or say goodbye pieces. Do you have any suggestions for how to style them? Because that might be helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video soon, so I hope to see you then. Bye!